what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount a starter button here. The button will be connected to a high amperage relay, which will allow this starter to be directly powered by a jumper pack. So today we're going to install a push button for our new starter. Here's a push button I got on sale. I always look for things on sale, and I knew that one day I would need it. You see there, 49 cents. Yeah, 49 cents for a push button switch. And we have Ford type starter solenoid. So this switch will power the solenoid. The solenoid will allow power to go to the starter. Here we have two heavy-duty electrical clamps. These are from old jumper cables. And here's some heavy-duty cable that will be enough to carry the amperage that the starter requires. Now, I can't use these for an automotive starter. There's too much amperage there. So the first thing we do is we pull off one of the insulated covers. This has to be clean in here, so we'll scrub it out with a nice toothbrush of different sizes. This one's too big, obviously. Just figured that one out. Now, you'll see there are three different crimping areas. This crimping area is to grip the actual insulation of the cable. It's your stress relief. This area here is to crimp your actual cable, the copper. Now, if you go with a very large diameter cable, then don't worry about this one. This will be your stress relief, and this will be your electrical connection. Yeah, pretty. Now, a lot of guys can use wire strippers of different sizes, but something like this where it's so thick and big, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a razor blade around it. Just going to cut through the insulation. Now, I'm not going all the way down to the metal. If I stress it, breaks, and I pull it. Since I'm cleaning copper, I'm going to use copper stranded wire. I'm going to use a copper brush. Take our insulator, put over the wire. We're going to put that with grease. Some grease in here. Now, you may say, why don't you solder it? That's because this grease will do two things. It will insulate it from water, so it's waterproof. And second, if you start overheating your circuit, it will start to smoke. And that lets you know that you're asking too much of your appliance. Okay, so we have, get this up here, we have the proper crimp in the proper space. Let's get, come on, autofocus, people. There we are. We got our stress relief. Well, I have a much bigger pair of pliers I'm going to use to finalize that crimp. We're going to use vice grips as our crimper. Let me show you how you do that. Tighten them up until it's a really tight fit. Okay, now we go a little bit more. So we're going to need some brackets to hang all that wire on. So let's take an old angle bracket. Let's bang on it. There we go. And we'll turn it into that. We'll make 2 of them. And that'll be a nice place to wind up our cord on. We'll stick one here. And we'll stick the other one right there. Our starter button's made for a 3/4 inch hole. I'll start it off with a thin stepper bit. And then I'll go to one that actually has the diameter I need. Let's first take a measure. Oh, that's right where we should be. Good. Okay. I'm giving you a better angle on how to put this on. Okay. Actually, we're supposed to screw the front on first. Then we tighten up the backup nut. I will put a wrench on there. Okay, there's a little bit of room between electrical box and the switch. 2 terminals are easily accessible. And now to mount the solenoid. This out. This out. I know I'm using self-drilling. This always hit that again. And we're going to use a nut driver. It's magnetic. Love the magnetics. Keeps it there nicely. You can stick it through your part and use it as a guide. That way it kind of holds it in place and doesn't fly all over the place. Let's see how this goes. An easy way to make your own home connectors, very good connectors, is to take some copper pipe. This is air conditioning pipe, so it's very flexible. And essentially, cut a short piece. You're going to flatten half of it. Then drill a hole through it. Then you put your wire in here, well greased, of course, and crimp it. Put it in a vise. You can use a hammer, or you can use a pair of vice grips. There we go. I made a divot in each, and we drill a hole. So stick it up with grease, double it over. Double it over. So I don't want a whole lot of extra room in here. You see a little bit of grease in there. And it squeezes down. Now I'm going to put that in a vise. One homemade connector. It's crimped extremely tightly. You can see I included a tiny bit of the insulation here, and that's okay because the copper squeezes down. Can you see how it tapers down a tiny bit? But that is an excellent connection. It's full of dielectric grease, so it's waterproof. I'll take a reamer and get this flashing off. And this particular piece is for the starter. So here's the finished product. Got a new ring gear, new starter, got a starter solenoid, starter switch, starter button. We have some old jumper cable clamps that we can connect to a battery. I'm going to paint the positive red with some red spray paint that I have. Here's the final product. This is a Coleman Powerbase 5000 portable generator, and it's model number PM0545305.03. Did not come with an electric starter. You had to pull on that, pull starter, which if you're old and tired doesn't work very well. So, got an electric starter, got a brand new ring gear. We've got starter button, and we have some power cables marked clearly black and red for positive, negative. And we have a starter solenoid, 5-amp fuse connection. All right, let's get generating. Like and subscribe, or I'll set this fella loose in your garage.